JC, how often you eat McDonald's?
Me, I eat shit.
Every day.
Hey,
That's what that answer
hey,
is.
that man's a McMillionaire.
This far, nigga, we don't make it this far. This far, this far.
Welcome back, everyone, to Dear Radio. You already know it's your boy LeBrankson back on the intro. It's my boy Dear Siege allowed me. Thank you, Dear Siege, to do this intro today. Thank you, my guy. But I'm back with my co-host, Dear Siege, of course, number one in my heart. And then we got Dear Michael, and then you know who's always at the bottom, Dear TKD2. Yeah, I know. How y'all doing, fellas?
Doing good, man.
Doing good?
I'm good.
Doing good, man. That was a great intro, by the
Hey,
way, man. Just to let you know that
I
was
just
a
want to
great
do
one.
you right, man. I know you always kill the
Yeah.
intros every single week, so you know what? I had some weight on my shoulders that I just had to get a good intro out there.
I appreciate you, man.
That's crazy.
Felt like I just won a Grammy or something, man.
I
You
know.
what I'm
Hey, we're not gonna talk about the Grammys. Someone might get upset.
Yeah, see how they do me, man.
saying? What a Super Bowl, at least.
The
Shit.
Super Bowl, man.
You be your own show.
But we ain't gonna dive into that today because I don't want to see TK crying all episode and getting teary eyed and start singing Marvin's Room. So we're gonna keep it moving. But today we got another special guest for our Storytime segment. Today we have a assistant coach for Georgetown College in Kentucky, a former collegiate soccer player, a good friend of mine, JK Gonzalez. JK, what's up, man? How you doing?
I'm good,
What's up?
guys.
What's up?
Thanks for having me on. I'm happy to be here and share as much stories as I can, man.
Yeah, dude, it'll be fun. Once I told TK about it, and I talked to Siege a little bit about it today, they're like, "Oh, he played soccer? Man, I got a lot of questions for him." I was like, "All right, man, y'all can have it." I was like, "Ask away." But before we get too far into the interview or the segment, whatever you want to call it, each Storytime segment is based off a word of the week. This week's word of the week is vision. So make sure y'all are thinking what vision means to y'all. And at the end of the show, we'll kind of wrap it up. And JK, you'll probably take the lead on that. But without further ado, JK, go ahead and kind of introduce yourself. Tell us where you're from and what you currently do.
Yeah, so I'm JK. I'm originally from Los Angeles, California, but I found myself in Kentucky through school. So I was an awful high school student. I was I was like 2.2 GPA, like athlete, didn't want to go to college, and about like the end of my junior year, I realized like I probably needed to go to college. So I tried to pick it up and turn it around, and I applied out of state, and I got into a local school here in Kentucky. Um, I packed my bags and moved out here, and I guess I'm in year 6 now, living in Kentucky. So it's grown on me. It's a place I find really beautiful. People have been real nice to me, but yeah, I've come to love it, and I plan on being here for the time. Yeah, in terms of like what I do, I'm a full time soccer coach at the moment. I'm pretty blessed to be able to say that. It's not an easy lifestyle to kind of hop into, but it's something that I've always wanted to do, and the fact that I got the opportunity to do this almost immediately after graduating is a blessing in itself. So I'm pretty happy with what I do, no matter how long the hours can be, no matter how stressful. But yeah, man, athletics and college athletics is a different animal, you know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know. Me and you both know. So
That's crazy.
I tried telling these guys, I'm like, y'all have no idea. And then once I finally told them a little bit about my day to day stuff when I used to work at that collegiate setting, they're like, "Dude, we didn't think it was like that." I was like, "Yeah, bro. There's so much stuff that you
It's like
just gotta
that.
look
It's
past
like
it."
that.
Yeah, it's crazy.
That's
that,
wild.
but is that just per like school though, university, or is it? Do you think it's just like that across the board? Since y'all been to each school, like when y'all like on competition stuff like that, do y'all see kind of similarities when you're afar, not in another system, but have similarities like when you go from playing at UK and you end up playing like a Georgetown, or you end up playing like a Arkansas on a road game? Do you see like similarities from afar, or you think it's just different compared to like when you was at USF compared to UK? Like,
I think it's well, now it's a whole different ballgame with NIL and stuff like that. But I think it's when obviously you're comparing the SEC versus the American Athletic Conference, so it's way two different scales. Of you got the Power Four and the Group of Five or whatever they're called now. but I think it gets a little bit easier in terms of if you go down from like D1 to D2 to D3. But then again, you lack a lot of those resources that the D1 schools have, and you lack a lot of staff members like athletic trainers, strength and conditioning coaches. Like some schools, you have your athletic trainer who's also your strength and conditioning coach, and also sometimes they can be high up there in like assistant AD or stuff like that too, all doing 3 things at once. So it's kind of crazy on all different levels. It just depends on what level you want to look at it too. I don't know if you agree with that, JK, working at Georgetown and going from center to Georgetown as well.
I think for the most part, athletics in general is a high stress environment. Like you're working long hours, you're doing hard shit. Most people that are in athletics have some type of like natural competitive drive, and that doesn't necessarily mix super well with like the stress of like academics, the stress of travel, the stress on your body. So all that type of stuff, like it adds up. And at the end of the day, like regardless of where you're at, regardless of how much cool stuff you have and like all the people surrounding you, like it's just stressful in general. But I think the end product is nice regardless of wins, draws, or losses. Like the 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 pathway through that is worth it. I mean, it's hard, but it's worth it. Um, but I think everywhere you go has its quirks.
Yeah, yeah, that's facts. And take me through the coaching, man. So take me through a day to day on the coaching, man. And the biggest question that I like to ask people that always used to play is like, when you playing against somebody else, like, does that competitive drive come out of you? So like, when you're playing against your players, now you telling them like, man, you can't make this pass, bro. I can do that. And then you show them, they be like, oh, coach got some game. Like they get a little surprised, quote unquote. And like, do you do that sometimes to your players, man? You still get on them a little bit.
Yeah. So I think I'm a pretty mild mannered guy. I think for the most part, my day to day is pretty relaxed. Like what you see here is kind of what you get. But when it comes to like on the field, I'm a shorter guy. I probably right now weigh like 135. I was probably closer to 160 while I was playing. 5'5" on a good day if I stretch. But hey, bro,
Nah.
Nah, if you stretch, it's crazy.
Yeah, that was a crazy comment, but I like it though.
hey, but I got it done, bro. I got
Hey,
it
that's
done.
all that matters. That's all that matters.
Nah. I got a clip. I gotta ask you about, man. I liked it on IG, man. Hopefully you
I
seen
saw it.
that.
I saw it. No,
Yeah.
but like I was saying, bro, like it's one of those things where like as soon as I step on the field, it's a persona. Like this is a different person. I learned really quickly that if I can separate who I am on the field and off the field, then it bodes well for me because I can take it off and take it on.
hmm
Um, but yeah, dude, I'm a highly competitive person. It's part of the reason why I got into coaching because you can't be a competitive person when you're working like a day job. Like
Oh,
if
facts.
I was bagging groceries, like I'm not competing with anybody.
Yeah,
So
can't be
Yeah.
going
too
into
competitive.
that and like being surrounded by other highly competitive people, like it's bound to come out, even if it's like not soccer related, even if we're just watching a game and I'm like, nah, dude, I think Messi's gonna score today. Like, nah, Messi's too old. You go back and forth, so it comes out.
He's not too old. He's not too old.
Not too old, bro. Not too old. But yeah,
Well,
it
There we
comes
go.
out.
Oh,
I already know the question that I was going to ask you now
yeah.
since you already said the name. So,
I like that, JK. I like
uh,
that. Man, we can be
yeah, get,
friends now for
yeah,
sure.
I already know
Yeah.
now.
Nah, Chris, this man JK's being humble, dude. So he was working a kids camp at UK last summer, I think, and I walked out there because I was just checking it out. I wasn't even working the camp, and the coaches were like, "Langston, come on, hop in, play." I was like, "All right, sure, like whatever." It's like 5 coaches versus 20 of the kids, right? You're supposed to let
Yeah.
them win, like you're supposed to mess around. This man
Uh,
JK, dude, he started doing rainbow flicks. He started doing Maradonas all over kids, upper 90, like just scoring. I think he had like a hat trick. And then like they're like,
That's
JK, come
ridiculous.
on, like you're supposed to make it close, and he's like, nah, I'm winning.
Bro,
So
yeah.
they were
he
my
definitely is
height, bro.
competitive.
Shoot.
my God.
Oh, that's crazy. That's funny.
Yeah, so
That's
that's the
funny.
real JK. He's gonna
I believe
be
it.
humble in the interviews, but if you see him on the pitch, you're just like, nah, that dude's competitive for sure.
That's what I thought. I thought that I was like, nah, ain't no way. Because them clips I seen, I was like, ain't no way he going out here and and gonna let his players do anything to him and get to talking crazy. He be like, hold up, I could do that too. Hold up, let me show you what. You know what I'm saying? He got the Messi in him already, so I know he don't do his thing. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, for sure. Nah, that's funny though. Said the little kids can get it.
Anyone
That is
can get it,
wild.
No one's
man.
safe. No one's safe around
No
JK.
Hey,
one's
I ain't
safe.
mad at it. I'm not mad at it.
But kind of wrapping it back in, going from originally when you're like, yeah, I'm going to Kentucky to school, where you're like, like I don't know how many years I'm going to be out there. Maybe it's a semester and I'm done. What was that mindset going through? Because it's like from us, well, at least for me, I lived in Kentucky majority of my life, born and raised here. And so for anytime I hear people from California or all these other cool places come here, I'm like, why do you choose here?
Yeah. So I'm gonna preface this by saying that Kentucky is been really really good for me, and I really like it here. But I had this like coastal elite mindset, like it's like L.A., New York, Atlanta, and then everything else. So like at one point, like I couldn't even like point out Kentucky on a map, So in my head, it was just like the middle of nowhere. Everyone was racist. There was only white people. So whenever I got the call that I got accepted to this school in Kentucky, um, I was prepared to be like combating ignorance and racism on a daily basis with like being an intellectual and showing them like, yo, like brown people are people, like, and I show up here and everyone's nice, bro. Like I like hyped myself up for like 6 months, and I was like anything that happens, like I can deal with it. Like I have like the mental fortitude to go through with it as like a person of color, and everyone is nice. And like in reality, like I've had very minimal interactions that have been negative in Kentucky. So like it's been real nice to kind of be here and learn like how the other side of the country lives. Because I went to like Danville, Kentucky, which is a complete opposite of like Los Angeles
Yeah, it is.
metropolitan, and I loved it, man. Like it's treated me well. I'm trying to convince my parents to move out here and kind of see what it's about. Like I look around and like graffiti is minimal, trash is minimal. People say good morning to you on a daily basis. I think the high schools here, even like the schools that are on the lower end of the economic scale, like they're really well taken care of, and I think for the most part, people have a lot of pride in what they have here. So it's been a good experience, to be honest. I really didn't expect it to go this way. I originally was like, okay, I'll do my 4 years there, I'll go back home, and like no biggie. But I don't see that happening anymore, to be honest.
That's real.
No, you're
That's
definitely in the
big.
better city because TK's down in Louisville and it's night and
Oh,
day compared to Lexington.
That's facts.
I ain't gonna lie.
Hey,
It is true.
TK's ran
That
into
is
some
true.
nasty people
Hey,
down in
man,
Louisville.
I went to UK. I went to UK.
I
I'm not
bet.
a Louisville fan. I went to
Yeah,
UK.
we're trying to get him to move back up here to
Yeah,
Lex
yeah,
one day.
nah, it's
One day.
definitely true. Yeah, like they say, dear, she's Lex Vegas, man. Nothing like Lex Vegas, bro. Like they say, man. You know.
I know
No, he know.
I
He
haven't, I
know.
haven't, I haven't heard that till
Yeah, you have.
till like two weeks ago. So
It's all good, bro.
that's some new slang that y'all came up with. But
Nah,
it's all
bro.
right, bro. Hey,
Everybody
it is
know
what
Lex
it is.
Vegas, man. It's okay.
Everybody know Hunts Vegas, man. I'm telling you, man. Been to
Everybody knows
Huntsville.
that. No.
Everybody
Are you
been
from
to
Huntsville?
Huntsville.
Are you from Huntsville?
Nah, I'm not from there, but I went to school there though.
Mm,
He just represents it.
mm.
You know about Hunts Vegas? You know what I'm saying? See, JK know about Hunts Vegas.
No,
I was
he
I was there
don't.
for one spring break. We ain't gonna talk about it today, though.
Oh.
And he went crazy. That's why he can't talk about it. Yeah, Hunts Vegas. That's what I try to tell you. I did. They ain't gonna lie to you. I tell you.
I'm weak.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I tell you.
No, but you being an assistant soccer coach at Georgetown, right? Like it's pretty interesting to have a assistant coach to kind of walk through that perspective because obviously you're already in a high environment, like control experience. So what is it like being the assistant coach? Because they kind of say like if you're not the head coach, everybody else is kind of just like in the shadows. But it said most times it seemed like the other coaches as a part of the team may have more work on the front end or the back end than the actual head coach does. And like, can you walk us through what your day to day look like with that? Because I understand, or I would like to understand if it's high intensive, like, okay, I got to do this, this, this. My other coach had to do this, this, and this. And we just leeway it to the head coach so he can strategize and figure out what makes sense for him. It seems like everybody's a head coach until, like, obviously you get the title of it. So, like, what does that look like?
Yeah, so I'm actually really lucky that my head coach is one of my best friends here in Kentucky. His name is John Manga. John was like a super super good soccer player here. He played at Henry Clay. I think he still has like
Mm.
the record for goals at Henry Clay. Ended up playing at Cincinnati and then got drafted to the
Huh.
MLS. The dude's a baller, and he was the assistant up until last year. Our head coach, out of nowhere, took a job in Indiana. So he's coaching the youth program in Indiana. So 2 weeks before preseason, he left. So
Dang.
so me and John have been like, I mean, tag teaming everything. Anything he does, I do. Recruitment wise, we're both on it. Scheduling wise, hotels, meals, all the stuff that goes into like the
That's
extracurriculars of coaching. Um, I have a guy that's relatively young, close in age, that honestly he's been a great like resource for me. So I think in my experience so far, I've been it's pretty lucky. I don't think that this is a normal case where you have someone that's so close in age that's given this responsibility out of nowhere and is doing a good job. But yeah, man, like a day to day, like right now in the spring where we're off season, we're adding a lot more strength and conditioning, just because we can have a little bit more load since we don't have as many games. So we have a 6 a.m. lift, then we have like an 8 o'clock team breakfast. We're off the afternoon, and then we'll have a 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. training. So
Mm.
on the college coaching side, like my day starts early and it ends like around 4 or 5, and then on the club side, it picks up again at 5:30. I have 5:30 practices, and then I watch all of my bosses at Lexington. I mean, like they're amazing coaches, and I'm surrounded by a bunch of like really talented individuals at that craft. So I stick around, and I don't have a girlfriend at home that's like yelling at me if I'm home late. So I make sure to stick around and learn from the best, while I can. So the day to day, like I'm out of my house from 6 a.m. to like 9 p.m. most days.
That's real.
some dedication though.
That's real.
God dang.
That's how you supposed to do it, though.
That
6
dedication,
a.m.,
though.
9 p.m.
I'm running the athletic trainer hours for real.
Man, for real.
Hey, you definitely are. I can attest on that. I don't. That's why I got out. I couldn't do it no more. I was like, forget that.
Yeah, man, it's a different animal, and right now that I have the gas, like I'm good to do it for a little bit longer. Hopefully, something lines up that takes up my hours away, but for now it's good. It's all right.
Is there any specific plans like you would like to move forward in the future, like getting a head coaching job or staying in coaching, or just eventually just getting out of it in general and just only doing club or nothing?
So, everything's up in the air right now. I'm still kind of learning what works best for me. So I've coached high school boys. I've coached club from 6 years old to 18 years old and everything in between. I've been an assistant at a college, and then I was a college player. So everything is kind of slowly piecing together for me, but I don't really have a plan besides sticking with the sport as long as I can. Whether that ends up being a video analyst at a college or an assistant or a head coach at a college or at a club professionally. I'm not really too sure yet, but I think that I for sure want to make this a career.
Mm. Has anything
No.
fascinated you or shocked you to this day? I know you've been doing it for like a little bit, but day to day is a little bit different depending on how y'all schedule things out. But does anything still at this point like wow you, like why you in these practices or getting treatment done for the players or just trying to do strength and conditioning or recruiting? Like, does anything shock you anymore, or is it still just like I just wake up and do what I gotta do?
I think on like the professional basis, I think I got it down. It's very much like day to day, like you got to do what you got to do. I think on the like athletic part, I mean, my athletes impress me every single day.
Mm.
It's one of those
That's what's
things
up.
where like even though I can still kind of ball out with them and work with them, the fact that they're willing to get up at the same time as me and then still go to school and do all that extra stuff, I mean, like it's impressive in itself. I know that I did it myself. But watching an athlete that you're taking care of do the same is, I mean, like it does something to you, bro. It motivates me for real. Um, but yeah, I think my athletes are probably the most impressive people that I have surrounding me right now.
That's real.
It's hard, dude. Like the athlete life is not easy, but yeah. Did you guys play any sports?
We played primarily basketball.
Not
Like,
in college
Yeah,
though.
I played a little basketball.
not in
I
college.
played at a little a D3, like no, actually in NAIA. It was Pikeville. I played at Pikeville
Yeah, so
Mm.
you
a
were in
little
our
bit.
conference for a little bit with Georgetown.
hmm
Yeah.
Yeah, that was straight. Yeah, they was crazy too, man. I had room with an athlete, and he was out there like you said, like 6 a.m. to down there 7 8 p.m. He's still out. So yeah, I used to see that too as well. And then being out there too, I see how they getting up early in the morning, running around, running the hill, doing this, doing that. Like, yeah, leave man, y'all. Hey, I see, I
It's
see.
true. It's true.
I mean,
It's a
being
Crazy.
different beast, man.
yeah, being an athlete yourself, and now on the other side of it, training athletes and coaching athletes. Like, do you? I kind of wonder at this point in 2025, right? Obviously, the curriculum is this. Now they got NAIA. Do you? So it's a little different now, but do you think it's necessary for some of these athletes that I guess perform at a high level that can be 2 or 3 years in and go pro potentially? Do you think it's necessary for them to have to go to class? I guess you can't really go around that if you go to school, but I wonder what your take is, like being an athlete, going through that process. Like, man, I'm trying to go pro. Like, I'm going through these classes that may not make sense for my life. Like, what does that look like to you at this point?
Yeah, so I'll go back to my head coach John. I think he's a perfect example of this. He went on and played at Cincinnati, and I mean he was a baller, dude. Like the guy is this big dude. He's scoring goals left and right. He gets drafted into the MLS and then goes 3 ACL tears, so he was done.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So like in terms of like what I tell my athletes, like in my head, if all of you guys can go pro, like that would make me like selfishly an amazing coach, like but at the same time like the merit goes to you guys for putting in the work, but the reality is like anything could happen. Like whether it's an injury or you get married and you feel like your family has to come first and anything could happen. So I think although it could be on the line where like you have this athlete that's amazing that wants to go and sign professional and has the opportunity, which is, I mean, few and far in between. The reality is like that career, as good as you are, isn't going to last more than 15 years. So whatever you have to do afterwards, like you have to make sure that your future is locked in. So
True.
as much as possible, I
That's
tell
big.
athletes
True.
that like the reality is 2% of you guys have an opportunity to even play at a level after this, but 98% of you guys have an opportunity to come out of this program just better humans that can schedule themselves, humans that can wake up early and get the hard stuff done, humans that know how to eat right, take care of their bodies, who've heard their ATs like say like, hey, you get injured, this is what you do. And even though it's not going to be perfect, if you have to rehab yourself at some point, you at least have like a starting point to do that. So like all these things that you have access to as a collegiate athlete, like you can't take for granted. You have to take it with you as much as possible.
That's true.
Yeah, that's facts. And that's crazy that you say that because I hear Dion saying that. Dion Sanders, the Colorado head coach, I hear him always saying that to his players. So that's even being spoken from where you're at all the way up to the top levels of D1. So just imagine all the coaches in between of you guys that's saying the same exact thing to their players. So it's like it's only gonna be a X amount of percentage of y'all that's gonna be able to make it out there to the pros and actually do this. And that's for every sport, not just soccer and football. That's for every sport. Somebody's always having that conversation there, but it's crazy like to hear from verbatim from another coach that's in the college rankings is like, dang. And everybody's telling the students that, so it is wild.
It's the truth, man. I mean, at the end of the day, uh, the goal is one thing, but the reality is a complete different thing. So you just have to make sure
Yeah.
that you're being realistic, feet on the ground, and you have a little bit of foresight.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yeah, man, I saw it all the time. Like we used to have like my freshman or sophomore year, one of the two, we had a football player who was supposed to be like first round draft pick. It got to his head, then he got hurt, and then bounced around as a practice player, was on like special teams, and then out of the league in like 2-3 years. So he thought he was all that, and then ended up not going to class and skipping on his education. Which now that's why I think a lot of at least I know UK does this. I don't know if any other school does this, but they have people who go around and check on your classes, make sure you're actually going to classes. I think we've talked about this before in a previous podcast, but again, man, college athletes now is just a whole different ball game. It's basically semi-pro at this point.
Yeah, you get everything, man. I know a lot of Europeans that played in like decently high levels come here and they're like, "Yo, like American universities have better facilities than some professional clubs in Europe." And
That's wild.
it's the truth. It's the truth. We're really blessed here to have all these things and have high quality doctors and ATs around teams and sports psychologists. All that stuff is unique, you know. So if you can take that and learn something that you can take forever, like I highly recommend it to all my athletes.
That's real. That's real. Take us back a little bit. You know, we know like you're coaching now and you're doing your thing, but like, how did you first? At what age did you first grasp the idea? Like, I really enjoy sports. I wanna just start playing. Kind of enjoy it. Like, when did the competitive nature pick up for you? Of like, this is something I just want to see if I can just push because I just enjoy it so far.
Yeah, man. So my parents are both immigrants to this country, and they grew up in. My dad's from Guatemala, and my mom's from Mexico. So when they came here, like they obviously had that background. So I always grew up watching it. I always grew up yelling at the TV with my dad. So it was something that like as a family was in us to kind of be a fan, you know. And I wanted to play, but financial limitations didn't allow me the opportunity for a while. And luckily, my dad kind of made a deal with me, which um, I think worked out in everybody's favor. So with soccer, juggling is one of those things that like everyone should be able to do, but the reality is like very few people really master. Um, my dad was trying to buy himself some time so he can save up money and put me in some type of like rec league. So he told me if you learn how to juggle by yourself with no coaches and you show that you have that motivation, like I'll make sure that I put you on a team. But you have to show me that you have skin in the game. So I taught myself how to juggle and I got pretty good at it. My brother was a video game guy and he hogged the PlayStation. I never really got the opportunity to hop on. But I would go outside and just juggle and just do my thing. Um, Completely zone out. Whatever was going on, like wasn't going on. It was just me and the ball. And by the time I turned 8, I was hitting 50 juggles by myself. And my dad just realized, like, you know what? Like, if this is what he can do by himself, like, I need to put him in a team. So I played rec ball from the time I was 8 to like 11. And then I hopped in like a travel team from 11 to graduation. And all of those things were good experiences. But the big thing that I think made it for me and gave me that drive was having to earn my way onto the field, you know. And it wasn't anything but like the reality of life, man. Like financially, like it just wasn't a real like possibility until it was. So
Mm.
yeah, that's to me been like the most motivating factor, and I think it forever will be.
That's huge.
No,
Yeah. Do you feel like today's generation kind of misses out on like that mindset of just like, hey, instead of everything's going to be handed to you, you need to go outside, hit 100 juggles before we give this to you, or even just going outside and doing 100 juggles on your own instead of I'll do that later at practice, or now I'm going to stay inside and play video games. Do you feel like they're missing out on that?
Yeah, man, but I get it, you know. As a parent, you want what's best for your kids, and I think if my dad had the opportunity to put me in travel ball soccer at 4 years old, he would have done it.
For
Um,
sure.
so it's one of those things where, like, as a parent, you always want what's best for your kid, and sometimes you kind of get blinded by that, and you're giving them too much, and they don't really have skin in the game.
Hmm.
So the best thing you can do is kind of make it a fair trade, some skin in the game, make it worth your time to come out here and like do this thing that's exciting and fun, not because you just want to do it, but because it's something that you're motivated to do. You know, um, So like, yeah, I think a lot of the younger kids right now are missing out on it. But I do get where they're coming from. Like as a parent, I think I would want to do the same. But I think being able to have those conversations with the parents that I coach, the parents at the club where I coach, um, has been eye opening to me because in their heads they're doing the right thing by putting their kids in the best possible scenario with the best possible coaches around, and it's just one of those things that kind of just um, ends up happening. You know, it's just you can't really control it sometimes.
No, for sure. And you coach the club, one of the club teams at Lexington Sporting. Is that correct?
Yeah, man, I have 15-year-old girls. I
Mm.
have a second team. They're ballers, dude. They're ballers. I remember when I took the team, like this is the first older girls team that I was coaching. So in the back of my head, I was like, okay, well, this is a girls team. Like I'm not really sure what to expect, but I was pleasantly surprised. Like as a coach, I think on the girls side of things, you see your plan come to fruition a lot clearer than with the men. Because with the men, like you have some guy that's bigger, faster, stronger that's just gonna make that game for you. But the girls, they love a plan, dude. They love a plan, and they'll stick to the plan, and they'll do whatever you say if they like you, you know. So I've been really fortunate to learn from my 15-year-old girls. They're ballers, dude. They're competitors. They like what they do. They're in day out, and yeah, I think I really enjoy coaching that age group.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you. Like, I think you have a couple of my high school athletes over there, and they're just it's crazy how much they can freaking do. Because some of them you're like, all right, like you might want to go play a different sport. Then there's other ones you're like, I can't even do that, dude. They're like freaking flying across the field, making these crazy passes. We got one high schooler this past year who just broke the school record and is top 5 in the state for all time scoring goals or something like that. I'm like, holy cow, these kids are crazy.
Yeah, I actually saw her play this year. I mean, incredible. She was carrying the team
Wow.
by herself for real.
Yeah, it was insane. Like I remember we had a game, it was like a Wednesday night, and we had a call at like 9:30 or something like that. And the game started at 7. And then I'm just standing by my cart, like just watching the game. And then next thing I look down, I look up, and it's already like 7-0, 8-0. And they're like, all right, mercy rule. I'm like, dude, all right, well, the game started at 7. I'll be home by 7:45. I was like, this is insane. I was like, I've never seen anything like this.
Yeah, yeah. And the girls' sport is growing quickly, man. Like I remember, and like being as honest as possible, I remember having that bias. Girls' sports, it's not as quick, not as fast, not as strong, and even like watching the best of the best when the Women's World Cup was going on, um, the bias was there, and saying like, dude, like they're not completing these passes because the reality was like they weren't. They didn't have that like full structure for as long as the men have. But watching the Super League team play, there are girls on that team that do stuff that I couldn't even imagine doing anymore. And it's grown so quickly. And I see the girls that are 8, 9, 10 years old right now learning stuff that I'm teaching my college athletes, and I can't imagine what they're going to be looking like a decade from now.
Mm.
So I think I think everyone that talked about investing in women's sports was right, man. Like if you give them a platform, not only will they run away with it, but they will do things that on the men's side you wouldn't even think about. So I've been pretty blessed to kind of see that like face to face with the athletes that I've been coaching.
Hey,
Yeah, it's kind of like you said. Like the girls, they love the plans. They love the X's and O's and all the formations and tactics and everything. Guys are just like, nah, forget that. I'm just gonna run past you because most of them can. But then you get the girls who like are about at the same speed. They got to figure out how to actually get the ball on the other side of the field and go from that. Again, like the high school that I worked at, dude, they were. I watched them the very first game. I was like, oh, these girls actually know how to play the game. So I think what you said is like the female sports is really on a come up. I mean, you see it a lot now in the WNBA. I think WNBA is in a super great spot. Same thing with women's soccer across the U.S. I think we're in a really good spot too, which we've been in a good spot for a while, but now you're starting to see the lower clubs start to pick it up a lot. I think even Kentucky State high school girls soccer has been really phenomenal this year, all across the every single level. So I think we're getting into a really good spot, just like what you said.
So, like, Brian, like, you think since that's happening, right? Because like some of the girls can't just blow by you naturally, like some guys can. Do you think their level of compete and their level of IQ has to be more intentional and quicker development than a guy, opposed to like the same level because of those things? Because a guy can kind of go by on his natural abilities a lot longer before he can tap into the IQ of slowing the game down and seeing the field, seeing the vision, opposed to, like you say, she needs a plan. She wants a dedicated situation. Now she knows she needs to slow the game down because she can't just blow by somebody. So do you think, is that why you're seeing things like this in female culture?
100%, man. And like, so I coach 6-year-olds on the boy side and 6-year-olds on the girl side. And when I'm taking all of these like coaching licenses, the first thing they say is like from 6 to like 9 years old, passing isn't really a thing for the boys. It's very much like my relationship with myself and the ball. And that's a case for like 3 to 4 years of like their initial like development. For the girls, that's not the case. They start passing and moving their first year playing soccer. So they understand like the IQ side of things a little bit quicker, and it might be because of their physical limitations, because they're not as fast as some of the boys, and you're playing co-ed or whatever. But in my head, it's simply because they like the organizational aspect of it a little bit more than the guys do. They appreciate the being able to say I'm smart playing soccer. To them, it's a huge trophy. So it's cool, man. It's cool to see, like, even from the youngest ages, like they take pride in being smart.
That's dope. I never, now I can go to these games and start looking at these things from that different perspective and say like, oh, okay, I see what they're saying.
Yeah, because when I ain't gonna lie, I had the same bias, man. I mean, growing up, it was like girl in front of me on the court. Hey, if we in recess, I'm going blowing past her. 'Cause I know she came up. You know what I'm saying? Little stuff like that. But it's funny, man, because like I always tell this story about a girl that I play that I used to play flag football with in North Carolina. Her name is Izzy. She a dog, like
Shout out to
like she
Izzy.
do the same things I do on the field, but like she's just a girl. So it's so crazy seeing it because like when me and her on the same team, I be telling dudes like sometimes she play with us when we play the dudes. And I be telling them, I be like, hey, bro, she gonna really do. She gonna one hand. I'm gonna tell her to do something. She gonna go out here and do. I said, Izzy, catch it one hand on him. She'll go out there, snag it one hand. She going up mossing. I'm like, bro, like she a dog, like, and she full girl, like literally a real like girl, like blonde hair, blue eyes, like. Soon as she get done, she pull her hair out, get the twisting it out and stuff. So it's like, bro, it's so funny to see, but like it's crazy because the girls are evolving, man. It's crazy right now. I just had to tell that story. That's just one of those crazy ones, man. It's like she really cold though. Like TC, if you was lined up against her, I tell her, do you dirty.
See, you always thinking that. I'd be like, Izzy, expose him, Izzy. Hey, you gonna have to prove it to me, bro. No matter what.
She will.
Chris, all she gotta do is run a streak right past him.
Man, streak. No, she gonna run a post or a slant on him. She gonna have him on his feet. Shit. Going crazy.
I do have a question though for JK. I do have a question. You said he went to Center College, right?
Yeah. I'm repping right now, man.
So okay. So for one, we had when I was back in high school, we had a little basketball tournament over there. We had to end up winning that. But the real question I have for Center College, because I've heard this story, is there a thing where you guys run around a statue?
Yes.
But okay, all right. So okay,
that's real.
Have you heard that? Yeah, you remember that when somebody said that story?
Yeah,
I had to ask that question. So they do be doing that. Y'all wild for that.
I'll answer the question the same way that I answer it because I used to give tours at center, bro. Like when I tell you, like when I start repping a school, like I'm all in, you know.
That's real.
So I used to give tours for this school, and I would answer that question with the parents, and I'd show them the statue. It's like a flame statue that was donated in 1969, and like the 70s was crazy, bro. Like everyone was doing like every sort of drug and everything.
Yeah.
Everyone wanted to be naked all the time, you know, the 70s.
Yeah.
So that tradition came about where you would run from your freshman year dorm around the statue 3 times and then run back. But the whole like gist of it is like you had to do it buck ass naked.
Why?
So yeah, white people were crazy, bro.
Hey,
I can't testify. I can't testify.
hey. That's why I say my saying. Sounds about white. That's my saying, bro.
Yep.
The caucasity, bro.
Yeah, yep. Yes.
Cassidy is crazy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
that's funny.
But I'll tell you
Yeah,
what
that's
though,
funny.
like so I myself hypothetically may have ran it in the snow.
You a dog.
Hypothetically.
Hypothetically. Okay.
Allegedly.
Hypothetically, you a dog. Allegedly,
Allegedly.
you might be a dog.
But I'll tell
In
you
the
what,
snow.
bro. Like, it's
Yeah,
exhilarating,
that's what I
bro.
said. Yeah, you got it. Allegedly, you got it. Literally. No. That's crazy. I really be doing that though. I had to ask. Once I heard Seneca, I was like, yeah, I gotta ask him. But that's wild.
Our
That's
president
awesome.
used to joke around that it was a requirement to graduate.
I mean, honestly, at this
Yo.
point, I mean, I feel like
He on some
market employed.
some freaky stuff. He talking about it's a requirement. Man, get your freaking tail on. He must be sitting there watching everybody rub butt
Hey,
ass.
freaky ass.
Freaky ass. Man.
Hey, I ain't mad at it though. Hey,
So
if
I
you want to go
am.
to school, if you want to go to the school,
I'm freshman.
Yeah, it was
I'm
good
freshman.
times, bro. It was good times. I had a good time.
yeah, man. Hey, you gotta have every college got something, bro. So that's what Center got. And Center
make
campus
it-
is nice too. Don't get
That
twisted. Center
was-
campus was nice.
That
So,
was nice. It was nice.
Hey, I remember that. It's nice.
If you haven't been recently, it's even nicer, bro.
I was
We
it's
just-
been
Yeah,
a
dude,
while since
it's
we've been
so
there.
nice.
Yeah, we just put up a $60 million athletic complex up in there.
Ooh, shit. So y'all got some
Yeah.
money.
It's nice out there.
Shout out Center College, man.
Them tournaments must be going
Jeez.
crazy.
Jeez, yeah. Golly.
They must be still doing those.
Is it still the y'all got a football team, do y'all?
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, oh, okay.
We got football team now?
I didn't know that. I didn't
They
know
have
that.
football team then?
I can't remember.
Yeah, they're pretty
They
good.
had to.
They're pretty good.
I didn't know that.
And then recently with the new like stadium and everything, we've been recruiting like crazy. So,
That's what's up.
yeah,
Yeah,
for,
that
for
60
D3,
million,
it's
yeah.
pretty good D3.
That's what's up.
Must have been that NIL money.
Yeah, we got that going too, bro.
Yeah, hey, I'm telling you.
NIL
It's
touch
everywhere.
everyone. It touch everywhere. It touch everywhere.
Hey, like I said, you
Everybody
can't be
is,
mad at
man.
it though. I need the players. You got to pay for the $60 million, so you gotta spend money to get money. That's what you gotta do, man. That's
That's right. That's right.
what you gotta do.
Got to. That's the rules nowadays. You got to spend money to make money.
They got NIL at Georgetown too?
Yeah, we do. But I don't
It's
think
everywhere.
the school got. I don't think they have like the platforms to make it available to everybody. But
Makes sense.
Mhm.
it's different,
Makes
you know,
sense.
because like Georgetown's basketball and football programs are like historic programs.
Oh yeah, your
Yeah.
basketball team is ridiculous.
It's crazy.
Yeah, basketball
No.
team is pretty good.
Yeah, I see those guys every day. I see the coach every day, and like they're legit. You know, like they can play. So like they get different type of attention for those two teams. Everyone else is kind of like a normal small school team, but
understand.
those
That
two
makes
teams,
sense.
those two teams are legit, man.
I understand. That's how it was at Pikeville when I went there. They only had the big old stadium for the basketball team, like brand new. They just built. They breaking it in and stuff. But like everybody else just was using the scraps or whatever. You know what I'm saying? They got the little field here, a little field there, a little court here for the volleyball team, whatever. But yeah, they ain't let the volleyball team use the big gym. They put them in the old gym and the back
Tragedy.
gym. It was crazy.
Y'all part of the gridiron game.
Yeah. Yeah, I was like, damn, they can't even use the big nice gym.
Not at all.
Well, that's how UK volleyball is.
Right.
Because they used to. So you guys probably never been in there, but they had like two really nice AC gyms inside the Joe Craft Center, and then in Memorial Coliseum before it got renovated, it was hot, dude.
It was
so they
gross.
volleyball used to practice in there, and it used to be hot. We used to hold camps in there. It used to be like 100 degrees, like it was bad. But anytime they were like volleyball was like, "Yo, can we practice in your AC facility?" Both basketball teams were like, "Nah, we got practice in there, so y'all can take the big gym." So sometimes volleyball would have to push
Oh,
the
wow.
practices back just to be able to practice in the AC gym. But now it's different because they renovated everything, and I think it's hopefully cooler in there. I haven't been in there since they
Old
renovated
Memorial was
Damn.
tough.
it. Yeah, the new Memorial's nice though.
It's
I
nice.
haven't been in
It's
it, but
nice.
the pictures it looks slick.
Yeah.
That's crazy, man. There's always been fights and battles, man, within the sports, man.
But
That's
it's crazy too because like volleyball just recently
they're
won the
nice,
national
yeah.
title during the COVID year, I think.
It was 2020, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah,
Yeah,
COVID year. Yeah,
yeah.
thanks for saying exactly
Make
what
sure
I
you
said.
know. Yeah, make sure
Yeah.
you know. 2020. Front
I
cover.
don't need
He
to-
remembers it, bro.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
called
to the
trauma right
T.
there.
Hey,
To
That's
the
trauma, yeah. PTCD,
Wow.
post
Wow. Clever,
traumatic
man.
COVID.
Very, very clever.
that was a good one, bro. we
Oh,
gonna we're gonna have to put that on our TikTok, dude.
Yeah, very clever. Very clever. Man, wow.
PTCD. I just
Yeah,
thought
you
of
can't
that.
even
That's
say it
crazy.
now. Ridiculous, man.
But JK, kind of wrapping it back into the soccer world, I think TK will like this one because we want to get your clarification on what you said earlier, just regarding Messi and how he might be one of the best of all time. Would you say Messi is better, or would you say Ronaldo is better?
Wait. Before you go,
Wow.
I have never played soccer. So I never played. I just played the FIFA. But now I want to hear your reason why you like.
But you
Messi
watch
one.
it though, so you
Yeah, no,
you
but I'm
understand,
just saying.
you
But
understand
he
the
Do you
plays
know-
it though. He plays
do
it
you-
different. His ball knowledge is better. He plays it. I just
So,
wanna
so
let
I'll
him know
tell you
that. I don't
what,
play
man.
it.
I think it comes down to the type of player you are. You know, if you enjoy watching like the physical, athletic, like supremacy, dude, like that dude's different. Ronaldo is different, bro.
Yeah, thank you.
I mean, like
you.
Ronaldo is waking up early. He's on that like Mamba mentality. He's waking up early. He's eating right. Not a drop of alcohol. Doesn't party like that. Like he is the best human at the sport that I think has ever been. Messi's just an alien, bro.
See.
Alien.
He's different, bro.
Out of
Like
space.
the
He
thing
is
Now
is,
ain't on the
different. I ain't gonna lie,
planet.
he is different. He is different. But
Not on the
Ronaldo,
planet.
bro, something
nah,
about Ronaldo. I
Ronaldo
just
Ronaldo amazes me every time I see him play. But like I
Messi be
can
doing some
see
crazy
that.
shit too.
I can see that and just be like, yeah, like he worked his ass off for that. Messi, dude, there's no formula, there's no rhyme, no reason. Like he just sees things differently, dude. Like he must have like a different color that tracks like some type of defender's movements, like in the back of his head. Like he sees things that like even when I'm watching film, I don't see, bro. And like
Exactly.
that's a mastery of the IQ aspect of the game. Besides what he does on the field physically, you know, like he's fast as can be. Like I would argue that his first three steps are probably the fastest three steps in soccer.
Are you
You know
saying
what?
like
You
he's
know what?
really
Hold
on
on,
the
hold on.
Go ahead, go ahead.
Yeah,
go
I got
ahead,
something to
go
say.
ahead, go ahead, man.
Before, sorry to interrupt you, man, but you know what? Also, he can see JK is that World Cup trophy sitting in his trophy
Okay.
case.
Sure can.
Yeah.
Sure
You know what
can.
I'm saying, Siege? You know what I'm saying?
see.
Sure can.
I might say my 2 cents on this, but I'm actually trying to ask actual questions, bro. We get it. He won the World Cup. It happened.
Yeah.
I
so
just
long
want to
ago,
clarify
bro.
that.
Right.
Some
Wanna
people
make
on
sure
our
you
show
know.
Win-
they might not
win-
know.
I want to
Where's
man.
the
We
win,
get it. We get it.
Just
He
in case
won.
the viewers,
He
just in case the
won.
viewers didn't know, man.
Yeah,
Just
he
in
won.
case.
Anyway, JK, are you just saying that because he's like really, really good on the ball? Like he just moves differently? Are you what are you saying? Like why is like he's just like alien, different? He just does it like because I feel like Ronaldo doing the same thing and he older too.
Nah,
And
so
Messi had a little bit more help. I feel like it's a little tad bit.
so credit to Ronaldo. He is an amazing player, but I think Ronaldo makes an impact the most when he's on the ball, and he can glide past people. He can do all these moves. I think like I said, incredible player. With Messi, if he's on the ball, you're in trouble. You know, like he'll do something crazy with the ball. But if he's not on the ball, you're in even more trouble because all that means is that he is looking around to like expose everything that you are not even paying attention to. So that's to me like what makes him the most dangerous person ever. Like when he's on the ball, you're shaking. But if you give him a
Yes.
second off the ball to look around and be like, that guy is falling asleep, then you're done.
Yes.
You're done.
It's
Like,
over with.
You talking about so he's talking like kind of like movement,
He
basically.
doing
Messi.
what
yeah,
he's saying there. No, JK,
See,
let me, so
see, see,
you
look.
did so. Hold on.
Go
JK,
ahead,
man,
man. Go ahead, man. Go
you
ahead.
did so good, bro, describing how Messi play. Let me just describe. Let me just let him know how what he mean, what you mean. 'Cause he not understanding. It's just going over his head a little bit. I understood everything you said beautifully. I mean, I was just like, yes, man, he's seeing the game before the game. You know what I'm saying? But TC, like he was saying,
Oh my
Messi
God.
is better. Ronaldo just faster, and he just like to be a little bigger.
He
That's
did
it.
not say that, but
That's
all
all.
right.
That's it, bro. That's
You
it.
just
That's
be
what
That's
I
you
all.
be
heard. That's what
you
I
be
heard.
just discounting that man like he okay. I
He
said
just a
I got no
glorified. He's
the
just a
fact that you have
glorified
more problem with
supermodel.
Ronaldo, I have no problem with Messi. I just you can't you trying to stare me to
He
be a
don't got no.
fully
He don't
Messi.
got no. He don't got no problem with
No,
Ronaldo.
I'm talking about you.
Oh,
I ain't talking about
see
you.
me.
I know
I'm
JK.
different.
I'm talking
I'm,
about you. I
I
got no
hate him.
ill will
I
against
hate him
Messi.
because of you. I don't really.
See,
I don't
that's the
really hate
problem. See,
Ronaldo.
JK,
I,
see?
I don't hate.
See, that's the
I don't,
problem.
I don't hate him
See
because of
what I'm
your
talking
play.
about?
I don't hate the player. I
See
just
what I'm
hate him
talking
because
about?
you
See what
like
I'm talking about? The
I like
burning
Ronaldo, but
hatred.
I still don't like him.
him.
See what I'm talking about? That's why I had to ask somebody that actually has no bias just to explain because they like, nah, Ronaldo is right. But see, Jacob, you did do
Bro,
it wonderful. Also explaining Ronaldo. I respect that you like Messi. The other two I do not because you actually know some ball knowledge. So I appreciate you for
I'm
that.
basically saying the same thing
No,
JK was
no,
saying. What are you talking about?
you haven't given Ronaldo flowers at all. He explained, and then he said, "Why you like
Bro,
Messi?" You just say, "Oh no, Messi." So
bro, I told you,
you
bro.
know.
You know
That's
what?
it, bro.
It's all right, bro.
I had to get that. And then, my 2 cents about the World Cup. I had to say it because I wouldn't be, the Netherlands game. I just want you to explain to me, JK, what that was. Can you give me like a quick summary on what inspired in that game and how that was fair, I should say.
so you're talking about like the whole like
Oh yeah, the cards and everything. The card, yeah, all the taunting, the cards,
Oh my
and then why people didn't
god.
get kicked out and all this other stuff. So I'm just,
yeah.
I mean,
So the Netherlands coach is a very antagonizing figure in like world football. Um,
okay,
so in general, he's had problem with players that he's coached. He's had problems with referees. He's a good coach. Don't get me wrong, but he's an antagonizing figure. And I think before the game, he was saying something about how this Argentina team is probably like the weakest team that he's ever seen, and like they're not really leading up to anything. Messi's kind of outgrown his pedestal, all of these things,
yeah, I hear
and
that.
and the game was a physical game because like
Very.
the Argentines like took that personally, and like say what you want about South America, but those guys when they take that stuff personally, they take it personally. So they brought it to him. I think the Netherlands is a great team. I think historically they've always been good. So it was a good matchup. All the cards I think were fair and like if you're gonna watch a game that's a bloodbath, that's probably the best possible outcome. Now,
Yeah.
like all the taunting and stuff, um, it's the competitive nature, man. Like I've done it before. I've scored a goal against my best friend in high school because he was at a different high school, and the very first person I ran up to was that motherfucker. Dude. I went straight to
Yeah, I
his
like
face.
that.
I went straight to his face and I smiled and I pointed at him, and it was like out of competitive love. So making it a game memorable is probably the best thing you can do for either sides, and I think that's what they did for real.
Wait, was he still a coach when Van Persie and Robin was there?
Yeah, so
Okay.
he was a coach then, and I think I might be wrong on this. You might have to fact check me, but I think he had cancer, so he stepped away for a while,
Oh shit.
and then he came back and was a coach again.
I look back at that game. I watched that game in full. That when Van Dyke headbutted that dude, I was like, I didn't know he could stay in after that. Like that was insane. Like
Man.
it was
The scenes, bro. The scenes.
yeah. It's World Cup. Now I will say the World Cup is very very different. That's why I'm very actually my next question. So how do you feel about the World Cup coming to America? Like, do you feel like it's going to be like next level? Because I still think personally, and you can test this, you can ask this question or answer the question too. People still don't understand like soccer. People still think it's like no one really watches it. They're weak. They don't be doing it. And I still to this day, when people out here, I'm like, y'all don't understand. I'm not running for 90 minutes, bro. Like, and they don't got no timeouts. I'm not doing that. So when everybody says it's weak, like I feel like soccer is a very fascinating sport because y'all doing that with y'all feet.
Yeah, 90 minutes is crazy.
With y'all feet. Like that's what always means. So how do you feel about with the World Cup coming in? Like how do you feel like USA is like taking soccer on right now? Or football. Football, soccer.
Yeah, man. I think soccer's cool. I grew up here, and that's what I grew up calling it. I like calling it football in Spanish, but the reality is like American sports, we adopted soccer, and that's what I'm sticking with, you know. But no, I think it's a cool experience. I think we've been isolated in the sense of like we don't have the best of the best playing on our home soil very often. And when we do, it's kind of like an international friendly match where Messi comes and plays against the U.S.
Yeah.
It's like he's still amazing, but there's nothing on the line, you know. I think it's going to be a big like eye opener when it comes to watching stuff going on off the field, though. So like obviously we've seen these types of games live on TV and everything, and watching in the stadium is going to be like mind blowing to a lot of people. But the most mind blowing part is the culture that comes along with it.
Yeah.
So like watching all these fans that like truly follow these people and like know everything about them, and watching them come here and enjoy a
Different
game,
countries.
enjoy
I
a
didn't
game.
think about that.
That's going to be the most like mind blowing aspect. I think the American like sports fan peaks at like college football and college basketball in terms of like a fan base being like rowdy and stuff like
Crazy.
that.
Yeah.
But that's history that's been like maybe 100 years. Try 200, you know.
That's crazy.
And then on top of that, like there's history that goes beyond like the football pitch. You know, like there's history that like goes into communities where like one community has hated another community for 800 years.
That's
And then
wild.
when soccer came about, they both had teams that hated each other, not even because of the soccer aspect, simply because like we don't like those guys across the street.
Yeah.
So like that type of stuff is stuff that Americans don't really fully grasp yet. And I think hopefully after the World Cup, they understand like why the world is so fanatical about it, man. Like it's something that is deeply ingrained in cultures at this point, and like we just don't have it yet, you know. Like and it's coming. And I'm coaching a lot of athletes that their parents played basketball and football, and they're phenomenal like soccer players, right? So I can't imagine what like their grandkids are going to be like if they end up choosing soccer. All of a sudden, you have a grandpa that played at UK, and now you have a little bit more history behind it, and like that to me is what's going to be the big game changer. Like there's going to be so many kids left and right that finally see a World Cup and say like, this is what I want to do. So,
That's true.
So as a coach, I'm pumped.
I can't wait either, man. It's gonna be good times.
Now to kind of shift the focus a little bit on like some of your achievements, milestones. Like I've read that earning your undergraduate degree was super significant for you, right? And I want to ask that question just to get your perspective on it, because like how can I ask this? Like getting my undergraduate degree I was so adamant of getting out of UK that I didn't process that I'm actually getting a degree just because I wanted to get out of school. 'Cause I just didn't like school, but I knew it was paying me. So I took the leap to do that, right? But I never really had a plan of like, what am I doing post school with this degree? I know I want to do something in this field, but I don't necessarily need a degree in this field to actually be successful. But I took that route anyway. So looking back on it now as I'm older, I'm like, okay, well, this paper actually means something, regardless of what I thought about it the last few years. You know, I could always say, hey, this is something I've done. It took me this amount of time to do it, and I've achieved this. So, like looking back for you, you know, I'm sure you had a different perspective of whatever cultural experience you had. Like, can you speak on the importance of when you actually got that paper for the first time, or when you first realized, okay, you passed all your exams, and now boom, you stamped to graduate? Like, what was that experience like for you?
Yeah, man. Like I'm a first generation student. My parents went to college in their countries respectively, but for me, like I went to school for an opportunity, you know,
Mm.
and in the back of my head, I knew that I wanted to be a coach, but I had to have a safety, and my safety was the second thing that interests me the most. So I studied politics and war.
Mm.
I think it's a very unique thing to study, and it applies to what I do as a coach every day. You know, like there's so many ties that like this game is a little war that's played in 90 minutes, right? So to me, it's something that's always been like true to what I like to do. But when I finally got the piece of paper, it was kind of like underwhelming. You know, it was like the education that I got like from it didn't necessarily match all the overwhelming experiences that I got while I was going through it.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
That's
So
right.
like the educational part was amazing and great and like but the real life changing thing was going through the college pathway
Yep.
and interacting with the professors that I interacted with and like everything else that I learned outside of the classroom. That to me was like a complete life changer. Watching people be who they are and what they're good and do what they're good at that level was motivating to me because I was surrounded by professors that were writing books in war torn countries on their summers off. You know, like so it was pretty cool. It was pretty cool. I would say that like college isn't necessarily for the educational experience, but like just a life experience in general.
Yeah.
And like that was my biggest takeaway. Like the life experience was the biggest piece of that piece of paper. The piece of paper itself and the education behind it was awesome, but I think I use the life experience on a daily basis, and the piece of paper I use every now and again when I'm trying to bring up some facts at a bar while I'm drinking with some friends, you know.
Real talk.
But
No.
like for you guys, like I don't know what your degree was in, but for me, like mine was in like history. You know, like I can't really apply it outside of just conversation. Like Branks, like for you, you apply your degree every single day when you're working with athletes. Like you're physically hands on with your athletes. So that is a very very different like degree. You know.
Yeah, for sure. I'm using that freaking stuff every single day. Especially when I got parents asking me questions, I'm like, I don't really know the answer, but I'm gonna give you my best guess.
You had
And
a
they're like,
tibial
oh, okay.
contusion.
Yeah, I'm like, yeah, it's just a little bone bruise, and then they go to the doctor and they're like, yeah, his foot was broken. I was like, close enough. Nah, that's never happened to me.
That's great.
It's
Man, we're
happened
gonna
to other
cut. We
people.
gotta cut that out.
Yeah. We wouldn't cut it out and be like, oh man, LeBrankson's the best athletic trainer in the game.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Right, Siege?
Yeah, that. Yeah, let's go with that one.
Yeah. I know you always got my back.
Yes, sir.
I try to
But
recruit. I try to recruit him to Georgetown at one point. So
he did. He did.
that speaks to how I feel about what you do, man.
Let's talk about it then. Why didn't you take the job, Langston? Georgetown
So
not that far, isn't it, from Lex?
no, it ain't that far. It's like right up the street. Uh, it's funny. He called me, and he was like, I forgot what he was sounded like, but then he apologized afterwards. He's like, sorry, man, I had like a million cups on my back. Was it cups or the dry needles?
Dry needles.
Jesus.
Yeah, dry needling. Yeah, he had like a whole bunch in your back, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So he called me. I was like, what is this man going through? Because I knew he was in the training room, and he was like, man, like we got this position, like Georgetown really needs some help, and like Georgetown does need help, like
A
for
lot.
sure, like. And that's the sad part about some of these lower colleges. It's usually one or two athletic trainers bouncing around all the different sports that they have. So he was like, yeah, man, like so and so needs some help out here. Like, I've always known you from UK. Like, I think you'd be a great addition out here. And like, I literally just signed my contract with the high school that probably like a month and a half before that. And then also, like, without going into too much detail, just burnt out from college athletics. I was like, I just need a break. I don't, and again, like now, I think working the high school route and eventually seeing where I go after this 2-year contract is over, I think definitely like college athletics is just out of the picture now, like just because I'm so burnt out of it. But I mean, Georgetown's a great college. Like, if Georgetown wasn't struggling and they had like all the people that they needed, like I definitely wouldn't be opposed to going out there. But again, like going from one burning house to another burning house probably wasn't the best suitable job landing for me at the time where I was at mentally and physically and everything like that. So yeah, Siege. So there's your true story, man. I hope you feel happy me getting back in
Yeah.
my emotions, man.
I was about to say I almost shed a tear during
I
that
know,
one, man.
I
How
know.
sad
The
it
world's
was, man.
smallest violin right there, huh?
Exactly. I was right,
Shout
right
out.
here. I'm about to put it on. But
Nah,
JK, man, hold on. JK, man, take me back, man. February 11th, 2018. It's a clip, man. Hey, it's a clip on IG. That thing there, you had that man on the floor falling, but you get to the end, you looking to pass it, and you could have did something extra. Take me through that, man. Take me through that, man. What's going on?
Yeah, I saw that you liked it on IG. I hadn't seen that video probably since I posted it. I looked at it for a second and I kind of went through it, and I think like going back to the word of the day, vision, right? Like in that moment, I think that's my senior year, my junior year maybe. And in that moment, I was trying to be that senior that was like handing the torch to the freshmen that were coming onto our varsity team, the sophomore. So I was very much
Okay.
a pass first senior. Where
Okay.
like I had assists and assist records already, and like goals I felt comfortable with, but I was trying to get some of the other guys on the board, and the whole season was like that, dude. So it like whenever I watched that video once more, I was like, as much as I understand what I was trying to do, I should have just bucketed, bro. Like,
You should have just bucketed. I was like, he came off looking the. I said, hold up, what? And then I see one before that where you had strike that motherfucker like right outside the box. So I'm like, hold up, what the fuck you? I was like, man, I gotta talk to him about that clip, man.
yeah,
I gotta
and
talk to him
so
about that.
so that guy, I played against that same guy for 4 years, and he was like a bigger dude, and like
Yeah.
he wasn't very good at soccer, but he was physical, so he would step on me, give me a little elbow here and there, and
Oh yeah,
like
got that get back on him.
I appreciated him a whole bunch because it like I was a competitor, I like that type of stuff. It
Yeah,
gave me the license to give it back, so like it
exactly.
freed me up a little bit. But when I got him, I'm pretty sure it was my senior year. When I got him, I posted that almost immediately after the game. I was like, "Fuck that dude! Like he bullied me
Nah,
for 4 years straight. Like I'm posting it like
Got
immediately."
heck
to.
yeah,
Got
got
to.
to.
Got to.
Yeah,
Nah,
he ended
that's
up.
what's up.
He was a good sport. He ended up liking it, and he messaged me. He's like, "Man, you got me." Like he was
Yeah,
cool.
Oh, he a good one.
you
I would
had
have
him
blocked it.
falling over the temple.
I would have reported that shit in a heartbeat.
Oh my, he said good game. Why would you
No,
report him?
no, I gotta get my get back.
Well, you got your get back on the clip, man.
Nah, he made me fall.
Yeah.
I can't do it.
And nah, that's funny, bro. It's
Yeah,
crazy.
my dad filmed every single one of my games that I ever played.
Oh,
Shout
that
out,
was your
Dad.
dad's
Shout
filming?
out, Dad.
Yeah, so that's my
Shout
dad
out, Dad.
filming.
Oh
I
yeah.
think if you turn the audio up, you could hear him go like, "Oh shit."
Hey, that's dope. That's dope. Shout out, Dad. That dope as
shout out
hell.
Pops, man. Pops holding it down. Yeah. I'm gonna listen back to that mother. You're gonna be like, oh shit. I think I probably heard that shit, to be honest,
I'm
because I
gonna go
said it
back
at the
now.
same time when I seen it. I said, oh shit. So this motherfucker made that nigga fall.
That's cool.
Oh yeah.
Now I seen you got some personal interest in like rock climbing. Like take us into that. Like how'd you get involved in rock? I've done it. I don't think I've done it on a major scale. I think I've done it in like the little
No,
like
I ain't
see and stuff like that. Where they got a rock climbing. I
Me
ain't never
neither.
never.
took
I
it
ain't
to
never
that
did.
level. Are you really rock climbing, or is it more so like it's
So
just a hobby, something you do?
A
so
facility.
I've gone out and rock climbed a couple of times, and I enjoy it, but it's a bigger task than like what I get out of it, you know.
Yeah,
So I like going to the gym and just like for an hour or two, just hanging out in there, like talking to a few people, getting a couple of bouldering problems in, and then calling it a day. 15 minutes down the road, you know. But I got into it because of a girl that I was talking to.
Ah.
That's how it goes.
She's a beast. Like she's still doing it, and like she was like about it. And she took me to this spot in Lexington called LEF, and like I was trying to impress her, you know, like I was like, you know, like I'll learn, I'll try to hang, and so I did that for almost like 2 years, like as a hobby, and we talked for like 6 months, and like she's a good friend now, like she like we're on good terms and everything, but after we finished talking, like I was about it, I liked it, I felt like it was muscles that I had never used because soccer players are like hip dominant and like very much lower body dominant. So like the first day that I went, and this is a funny story actually, I like climbed for like 20-30 minutes and like my arms were shredded. So I was like, you know
Damn.
what? Like I'm done. I just sat and watched her do her thing because she looked good doing her thing, and like it was cool, you know. So, but on the way out, I had to like wash my hands, get the chalk off my hands, and I was like trying to undo my like fly, bro. I didn't have the grip strength to unbuckle my pants and unzip my pants, and this is like date number 2, bro.
Tough.
So I call her and I'm like, yo, and I'm not gonna say her name, but I'm like, yo, I know this is gonna sound weird, but I kind of need you to come in here and help me. And she's like, what? So she came in there and helped me do the thing. And this is like date number 2, so we got real close real quick. But yeah, like that, I ended up really
Oh
enjoying
shit.
the rock climbing and stuff, dude. It made me feel strong. It definitely I use muscles I had never used before, so it was cool. It was cool to kind of explore that. I haven't been in a couple months, but it's something that I'm really grateful for that she put me on. So
I
I'm
needed to
scared.
hear that.
I'm scared to go rock climbing.
Yeah,
No.
yeah. I
You
want to
lose,
go.
you
it's a
lose
good
your grip.
excuse. It's a good excuse to get your pants undone. I'll tell you that.
I don't know. Now you I don't know. Oh, I need to hear that.
Yeah, that's funny.
That's lovely.
You want to ask your final question before we move to the word of the week? I guess we don't really already touched on it, so we kind of just segue into the last little questions where you talk about the favorite restaurant.
In Lex or in
Oh,
general?
Nah, he's gonna.
He got his own. Yeah,
Yeah,
he got
Siege
it.
got a special question for you.
all right, man. So, I mean, usually I like to ask first. Have you eaten McDonald's or do you eat McDonald's?
Wait,
Uh,
what?
so I had McDonald's
Bruh, bruh.
for the first time in like 7 years. I had McDonald's like a month ago.
Yeah.
Wow.
7 years?
What was your
Damn.
order? See, how often you eat McDonald's?
Me, I eat shit.
Every day.
Hey,
That's what that answer
Hey,
is.
that man's a McMillionaire.
I'm saying it's so often, man.
You is funny as
I
hell,
just gotta
boy.
think about it, bro.
You funny as hell.
Because I did have it. I did have it the past couple days. I had it for lunch, but that's what I did.
Nah, he goes to the drive-thru. They already see what car it is.
They
already
have
got
it
his
ready,
order
bro.
to go. Yeah.
That
They're like,
shit.
all
Funny,
right, Siege, go
boy.
ahead and pull it around to the second window. And you're like, I haven't even ordered. They're like, yeah, we know.
Yeah, because it's already on the order. They just pull you up when you do it on the app, bro.
No,
They
I'm
pull you
saying
up.
that as soon as they see your car go through the drive-through, they're like, "Yeah, go around to the second window."
Nah,
Not yet.
not yet.
Nah,
One day.
but
One day.
I got two McChickens and a McFlurry.
Okay, you
Uh,
did it right
Good
there.
order.
You
Good
did it
order.
right,
Yeah,
though.
you did
You
that.
did it
yeah,
right.
it was almost nostalgic. So I refused to eat fast food while I was playing soccer.
Oh wow.
Smart.
Ah,
I
So
feel that.
I was on that Ronaldo grind, bro. I was trying to eat healthy. Um, I like every now and again would splurge with certain things. Like I smoke and I drank while I was in college every now and again, but just never in season. But the food stuff to me was like big, so I didn't eat McDonald's while I was an athlete. But then
It's big.
recently I was like craving it, bro. I saw the Golden Arches and they spoke out to me. So
yeah,
They
they
get you.
speak to you.
They get
They
you
speak to
eventually.
you, and they
You go in
sing a
life for so
song.
long.
They sing a song, and then somebody outside dancing in front of you. I tell you.
The homeless man?
that guy,
Yeah. I don't know what McDonald's you go to.
Hey,
I'm just
when
saying,
we
hey.
come
he's on
down
the
there,
north
we
side.
going
He's
to
on the
the
north side.
McDonald's.
Yeah,
When
I
we,
will
when we
say
come down there, I'm going to the
those
McDonald's.
Florida McDonald's are different.
I
Yeah, I'm
know.
just saying. I'm just saying. It be hot outside. You be seeing things sometimes when you looking at them golden arches.
It's
I'm
like
just saying.
the South Limestone McDonald's back in the day.
Oh my God,
That one
yeah.
used to be bad before they renovated it.
It's still bad.
It's
Every time I
still
go back
bad.
there,
There's a
yeah,
guy
they just
there.
renovated it.
It's not as bad.
There's a guy there. His name is Junebug.
Oh man.
Every time I go to that Chipotle, Junebug's
Oh
out
yeah,
there, bro.
I forgot about that Chipotle. Yeah,
Junebug
He
is
that
damn
shit
out
is
there.
near
bad.
know you. He damn near know you. Like, hey, JK, what's going on, JK?
Straight up, bro. I introduced myself one time and he knows my name. But
Yeah, they don't forget.
Junebug's cool. He's cool.
It's good people's, good people's.
Oh man, that's
But
crazy.
That's hilarious. But now we're gonna slide into the word of the week, vision. JK pretty much touched on it a little bit, so I mean, I leave the floor to anybody else that they kind of wants to talk about vision and the perspective that they feel is necessary right now.
I'm gonna be real. I don't even remember what I said about vision.
It's when you was talking about the play that sees that like he was like, oh well, I have vision at this point because your boy was brushing up on you. He's like, well, I was actually trying to pass it, but now I look at it, I'm like, I should just scored that. So that's when you kind of touched on vision and what you kind of was processing at that moment.
I
Yeah,
mean,
man.
or you can say what he said about Messi, man, and how he see the floor like in 3, 4, 5 different ways. You know what I'm saying? Better than Ronaldo. You could say that too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All
that is
right.
the definition of vision. You might as well
Yeah.
just say
Word of the
vision
week
and
is
Messi.
vision.
Mm-hmm.
I'll,
There we go.
I'll say one more thing, actually, if you don't mind.
No.
For me, the biggest thing that I've taken out of like all the conversation that we had, but also like trying to like think back at like my experiences is the best type of vision is when you take a step back and remove yourself from what's like immediate and look at the big picture, right? So like you can tie it back to Messi, you can tie it back to like who I was trying to be that senior year as a high school soccer player, but like taking a step back and looking at the bigger picture and trying to get as much information in your vision as possible. Um, that's really what's gonna help you out if you're looking for the help, you know. So
That's real.
but yeah,
Mic drop, boy.
Yeah, clip that.
Yeah, I felt that. Besides the messy part, but yes.
That was all good. It was all good.
I
Right
be honest,
there.
bro. I stay true.
That was good words.
Hey, do you play
I can
FIFA?
respect the hater. I can respect.
Wow. Do you play FIFA?
I don't play video games, bro.
Ah.
I played FIFA a little bit growing up, but after like 20 minutes, I was like, why would I be doing this when I can just go kick it outside?
Yeah, see, I can't do that.
That was it. He was the
Yeah.
opposite of
Yeah.
that. See,
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
saying that when I was playing it, I was like, bro,
Okay.
I don't even play this.
Yeah.
If I could do it out here on the pitch
Okay,
too,
yeah.
man.
All
If I
right.
could do it out here on the pitch
You
too.
can. Hey,
And
it's been real,
then
bro. It's been
he
real.
was different.
I'm talking
JK,
about
he was JK.
He
He
said he
actually
can play
said that.
soccer.
No, look, no,
I'm done. I'm
JK.
done.
He
I'm
actually said the opposite of that line for real. Like he used to say that he's like, I can't really do this in real life.
I know I
So,
can't
man,
do it. But you saying that you can do it is crazy. I've seen you play soccer. I played soccer with
And
you.
I score all the time, don't I? Yes or no?
When the net's empty, I score too.
Oh
We
no.
we hit.
Goalie,
You know what?
net,
It's whatever, bro.
whoever.
Hey,
Oh
listen, he in
no.
Georgetown, bro. When you come down here, bro, we'll go out there.
Man, we'll go
We'll
out
go
there.
out there.
I have
We
my
gonna have
cleats.
we gonna have somebody in goal. We gonna actually play.
Yeah, I have my cleats, man, ready.
All right, man. I'm on JK's team too, anyway. But yeah, we gonna play.
I ain't passing
right,
no
no.
more.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm about to say after he see how you play, he might have to take
Bro,
over
I'm
his own
gonna
stuff.
have a diving Sally, bro.
No,
Like that. Just like that, bro. Watch. You'll see.
Yeah, you're gonna go straight to the hospital.
yeah,
No,
your head gonna be
bro,
hurting.
no.
That ball gonna be
No.
hard. I tell you, they like it. They like it on the TV now. I tell you, they saw.
Yeah.
He don't know,
Pull it out.
JK. He don't know, bro. He don't know.
Real talk though. We got to go to LSE game. I actually just told Mike about it and TK about it earlier today. We definitely got their season starting up soon, isn't it?
Yeah, man. So the women will start their first game in March, their first home game in March, and the men their calendar year is a little bit different, but it's coming up. I think their first game is either end of March or in April. But it's I mean what we've been able to do out there in the stadium is pretty impressive. From the time that I moved to Kentucky to now, Kentucky has added three professional teams, and all three of them have been soccer teams. So it's
Big.
pretty cool. It's pretty cool to kind of see it come off the ground and be part of it and be there for ground zero stuff. There's still a lot of like stuff that we need to fix and make sure that we're doing best for our athletes, but I think overall the product is slowly getting there. So if you guys are ever out there, just shoot me a text, let us know, and we'll see what we can do for you guys. Whether it's a beer or something or whatever you guys are into, but yeah, just let us know.
Yeah,
True.
yeah.
True.
We definitely need to go out there. It's a beautiful stadium.
I want to just say
So-
that. The facilities are amazing.
Mm-hmm. But Michael, go ahead and wrap us up, man.
Yeah, JK, like again, we appreciate you for coming on the show, man. It's been a tremendous time for you, take your time out your day and just kicking it with us. We appreciate your efforts, man, and obviously want to continue to follow you and follow your journey and let our audience know where they can do the same. So, could you shout your social shots for us?
Yeah, man. So my Instagram is JeanKarloGlz. You can follow me on Instagram. Uh, my Facebook's relatively inactive, but Instagram's probably your best bet. My Twitter is relatively inactive, but yeah, man, give me a follow. If anything I said offended you, don't give me a follow. But if something spoke to you, shoot me a text, and I love to yap, man. So I appreciate you guys letting me do that for a little bit with you guys. I had a blast, and if there's ever a sequel or opportunities of a sequel, just give me a call. I'm ready for it.
Yeah, it's real.
Yes,
That's
sir.
real.
Yes, sir. We
It's gotta
like
be on the
that.
pitch though. It's gotta be on the pitch. It's gotta be IRL.
When
Yeah,
you
let's
start
do
saying
that.
pitch? When you
Let's
start
do it.
saying pitch?
I've always said that.
Chris, you remember no footy knowledge, man.
Yeah,
footy
no
knowledge.
footy knowledge,
knowledge.
Chad. No footy
Anyway,
knowledge.
bro, I'll go ahead and shout my socials out because everything I say is gonna, especially him, bro. I'm glad that you said Twitter too because we don't say X around here, so I'm glad you said Twitter.
Yeah.
You know the deal. But it's been your boy. You can follow me on the Twitter at TKD2 Gaming. Also, subscribe to the YouTube channel at TKD2 Gaming. Hey, JK, I play FIFA. Look at me a little bit. I'm telling you, I'm decent.
Is
I'm
he?
better than LeBranc. He has never beat me. He's never beat me. So, like I said, subscribe to the YouTube channel at TKD2 Gaming. Follow me on Instagram _TKD2 Gaming. It's been your boy TKD.
You can follow me at Dear Michael, my fashion page. Posting a little bit more on there. Comes soon. Obviously, follow us on Dear Radio Show on our IG page. Obviously, we have YouTube, so we're building that up. Like, comment, subscribe. Leave some comments. Let us know your feedback, what you like, what you don't like, things we can obviously interpret, tweak, change, and improve on. We're getting better each week. We're having a great guest on. We're enjoying the show, so make sure you follow Dear Radio Show for everything that we're doing. And yeah, LeBronson, go ahead and take us away with your socials, brother.
Yes, sir. First and foremost, JK, thanks for hopping on the show, man. It's great to have you on. Always been a super cool dude since day one that I met you. So glad that we can finally get your story and get you on the podcast and just have a little bit of fun tonight. And then my socials. So you got LeBrankson on the Twitter and the Instagram. Then I also got my gaming pages. Finally got my other TikTok up and running. You know, I've always been saying I lost my old TikTok. RIP, I ain't ever getting it back. But, man, go follow the LeBrankston.gaming TikTok and Instagram pages, and also LeBrankson on YouTube, man. A lot of good stuff coming out there. A lot of great videos of me carrying our team on pro clubs on FIFA and just making fun of TKD2. And then, of course, my boy Dear Siege helping me out, too. So, again, like Michael said, make sure to go follow Dear Radio Show on Instagram and on the YouTube. Leave us some questions, man. Again, we love the feedback, but we also love the questions too. So if you guys got questions about us or the show or just any specific question that you want us to answer, make sure to leave a comment down below and we'll answer it live on the show. So I'm going to pass the microphone over to my favorite co-host, Dear Siege. Go ahead and wrap us up, man.
Yes. I appreciate you, man. LeBron again with another stellar outro, man. I mean, I just can't speak enough of how you're carrying these things. But it's your boy, man, Dear Siege. Dear Siege on every platform from Twitter to TikTok to Instagram to now that YouTube. I'm starting
I
making
got
YouTubes,
YouTube.
man. I'm
I
starting
got
making
YouTube.
YouTubes. I changed my name on Twitch, man. I'm gonna be back on Twitch too, man. Dear Siege Gaming coming soon. Can't be on Snapchat. No more Snapchat.
Got in trouble.
Facebook can't be on there. My mom will be on there, so I can't do that, man. Cause she get the comment and stuff, and then I'm cussing, and then she gonna get to say stuff about that, and then I'm getting into it with my mama in the comments and all that stuff. But man, it's been your boy Dear Siege. But I would like to leave out with this, man. We appreciate you, JK, for always acknowledging that Messi was better than Ronaldo, even though he tried to try to switch it up and ask you different kind of. He was mixing up the questions and stuff like that. That was just nonsense. But man, we do appreciate you, man, for coming on, man. It's been a blessing, man. It's been a blessing for sure.
That made no sense. That made no sense, man.
It's been your boys, man, with Dear Radio, man. We out.
Thank
Peace.
you. Thank you.